All right, guys, welcome. So today we're going to be doing a beautiful halibut dish, and it's a poached item, so it's definitely something that is perfect for this time of year. It's a halibut. You can certainly use any other type of fish that you like. The key here, though, is going to be not just the halibut, but the real focus is going to be on the ingredient that I'm using here, which is mussels. And I find that the best stock that for this particular dish is mussels. And we actually use the mussels primarily for the stock, not necessarily for the actual dish, but of course it can certainly be part of the dish as well. So very simply, we're going to start off, I'm going to start working on the base of the foundation of how we're going to cook the mussels. So next part of the video, we're going to get back and we're going to show you exactly how that's done. All right, guys, so we're going to start off the first part of this, get the pan a little hot. We're going to add in some white wine. And again, it should be a wine that if you like, it should be something that you would drink. Okay, never try to really work with something that's, I mean, don't buy a really expensive bottle for this because you're making stock, but it should be definitely something that you would actually consume. Find so many times we use white wine, and you see people using white wine that's really not, or it's been sitting around for a long time. You want to make sure that the wine is fresh, okay? So we're going to get that. You can see right here, it's going to start to simmer a little bit. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some butter to this, okay? We're going to add a little squeeze of lemon juice, some fresh thyme, and we're going to use some chopped onions. You can certainly use shallots for this also. And the last thing we're going to use is a few pieces of garlic. And I'm just going to go ahead and smash these very quickly. Put those in like this. I mean, you don't need to necessarily use chopped garlic for this because all you're trying to do is get the flavor. Next thing we're going to do is now we're going to pop the mussels right in here. And again, when you're using mussels, you want to make sure you wash them very carefully. That's number one. Number two, very important that you take the beards. So you can find the beards usually are right around here. You want to pull those out. And the most important thing is that they're not open. Okay, you definitely do not want them open. We're going to add a little salt. To this, kosher salt's what I use. It should be the salt that you use primarily in your kitchen. If you want to use fleur de sel, usually fleur de sel or something like that, a more expensive salt is used to finish the dish. And then we definitely want to seal it. All right, so as we can see, all of the mussels have opened. Anyone that hasn't opened at this point, you want to discard it. Okay, so very, very important piece here is making sure, it's very dangerous at this point to actually strain all of these mussels into something like this. So a good way to do it would be to take this item here, this actual bowl, and drop it into your sink. Have it in the sink so it's lower than you, and then obviously you've got your strainer as well. The reason I'm using a very fine strainer is because sometimes you can get some sand and grit in this kind of stuff. So we're just going to go like this. Help them along. Hopefully we have no one that wants to go sideways on me. And really what we're trying to do from this point is just get all of the stock. And when we come back, I'm going to show you the next part, which is going to be the actual making of the halibut dish. All right, so here we are with the last part of this dish, right? So this is going to be the exact amount of ingredients that we're going to put into this dish, which is the mussel stock, which I'll talk again a little bit about making sure we're going to use another strainer, which would be this one, which is super fine strainer, just to make sure, again, that there's no grit, no sand, okay? Then the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add that mussel stock into the pan. We're gonna use fresh thyme, chopped garlic this time, minced garlic, some chopped onions, you can use shallots, some lemon juice, some butter, saffron, and then the last one, which is, this recipe is a recipe that I discovered from reading a book by Thomas Keller, The French Laundry, one of my favorite chefs in America, if not the world, and also probably the most inspirational. So we're going to actually all we're going to do is split the bean, and you've seen me do this for the French vanilla video that we did on French vanilla ice cream. So we're just going to take all of the bean paste out, and when we come back, we're going to go ahead and assemble all of this into the pan, and we're going to start working on poaching our halibut. set here. We've got, everything is in here. The mussel stock is in here. We've got butter, lemon juice. We have the garlic. We have the shallots or onions, salt, fresh thyme, okay, and the vanilla bean and saffron. Everything is coming to a simmer. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to place our fish in very gently. We're going to start over here, kind of work around like this. You don't want to overfill your pan either because you won't be able to get the fish out without breaking one. So that's just a perfect amount for us. And the most important thing you do now is you're going to turn this down. Okay, you want to get the simmer, it's going to be very light simmer, not boiling, very, very light simmer. And then what we're going to do, the most important thing about this dish is this part right here. Okay, I'm going to hit a little bit more salt on the fish. And then the most important piece, as it just comes back up to a simmer, I'm going to put a lid on it. And this is called poêlée. And poêlée means a sealed lid in French, right? So it's basically, we're basically putting a sealed lid on it. And it's a style of cooking that I learned a long, long time ago. A really great way to do it because now all of these flavors from the halibut are going to blend in with the mussel stock and all of the other ingredients. Okay, when we come back, I'm actually going to finish this dish. I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to do it. And, you know, again, I wish you guys could taste this because this is going to be a pretty amazing dish. All right, guys. So the fish is completely done at this point. We're just going to take it out. I'm going to put it over here. This is exactly how you would do it if you're having guests over for dinner. You would get this done a little bit ahead of time. Just make sure everything comes off the bottom. It's got a beautiful smell of the saffron and the vanilla right now. It's working its way together. Which makes this dish, like I said, Chef Thomas Keller knew what he was doing with this one. Now, so we've removed all the fish. So now we're going to begin the process of actually making our sauce, right? So turning the heat back on again. This time we want to kind of get it to start working more towards a pretty good simmer. And we're going to bring it down just a little bit. You don't want to over reduce the sauce like this because you're going to make it way too salty, number one. And you'll actually end up just losing a lot of the flavor. It'll just get too concentrated. So you want this to be, yes, we are adding heavy cream to this dish, which will obviously makes it a little heavy, but the sauce and everything else works great for this dish. So I'm going to go ahead and add some heavy cream. And we're going to continue to do this now until we get the consistency we're looking for. All right, so we're going to finish off this last part, guys, on the dish. So this is the most exciting piece. So we got the sauce is completely done. It's got a nice consistency. You can go a little thicker if you'd like. I mean, some people might want to slurry this with cornstarch, like cornstarch, a little bit of cream, or cornstarch, a little bit of water. Bring it to a boil, add the cornstarch in, slurry it, you know, basically to thicken the sauce. You don't need to do that. I like it just clean the way it is. It doesn't need that. But you can, if you like it a little thicker, you can certainly do that. So next part we're going to do, we're just going to put the halibut, a few pieces in here like this. We put some of the mussels that we had done originally as well. We can fit 4 on there. Next part we're going to do, now we're just going to go ahead and glaze over with the sauce. And I'm telling you guys, the smell off this is just pretty amazing. It's got a beautiful color, amazing flavor, amazing aroma. And I can guarantee you that this is definitely going to be a crowd pleaser at any dinner party that you have. Last part we're going to do, we were able to get some beautiful asparagus today. And again, one of the things you definitely want to do is peel your asparagus because they tend to be really chewy. So by peeling it, and you can snap it and you actually will find the right spot where you actually need to peel it. And then that's pretty much it. You can hit it with just a little bit more lemon juice if you'd like. And you could now, at this point, if you want to hit it with some fleur de sel, you certainly can. If you've enjoyed this, guys, please like and subscribe. We really enjoyed doing this, so thank you very much.